The War Written in Ink, a werewolf story. Previous episodes are available on the playlist. You can also visit our website for your favorite stories. A link is provided in the video description. Episode 5. When Jackson lets out his broody growl, all the boys by the front door stop playing and lower their heads to show him their necks. I don't think I'll ever get used to how everyone acts around my friend. It's one thing to know he's an alpha and another to see that he's an alpha. Watch where you're going, pups. You almost hurt your Luna. Their eyes got big with fear when they saw that Jackson was holding me tightly. His arms are still around me to protect me, and his eyes are black like they get when he's mad. Hey, it's okay, Jackson. I let go of his strong grip and walked over to the group of boys. I can see that it's a group of 5 now that they have stopped moving. The person in front, who looks the oldest, still has his eyes down. His hair is short and black, like obsidian. He won't look me in the eye, but I clear my throat once to get him to look at me. What's your name? I'm Kala. The oldest boy looks down at me and smiles nervously. He looks over at Jackson, who gives him a gruff nod that it's okay for him to talk to me. I'm Dylan, and I'm so sorry, Luna. I didn't see you come in. Please know that I would never try to hurt you. For a 16-year-old, he's very mature, and I make a note in my head to tell Jackson how great his pack members are at following rules. Don't worry about it. My little sister runs me over all the time, anyway. I look at the 4 other boys standing behind Dylan, and they tell me their names: Enzo, Aaron, Leonardo, and Gail. They look a little less scared now that Jackson scared them. Their smiles start to come back now that they know their alpha won't hurt them. Jackson comes up behind me and gives Dylan my bag. Take this to the alpha suite. Everyone get ready for dinner. Jackson made it clear that there was no room for argument. I guess the boys went right to work. I think they went to the kitchen while Dylan hurried to get my bag from Jackson and take it upstairs. I yell "Thank you, Dylan," just before he runs around the corner of the stairs. Dylan sticks his head out and smiles at me. You're welcome, Luna. Dylan goes upstairs, leaving me and Jackson alone by the front door of the big house. I look at Jackson, who has a small smile on his face. I ask, "What?" and tilt my head to the side. Why is he staring at me like that? He gently puts his hands on my cheeks and kisses me, as if he knows what I'm thinking. You're already an amazing Luna. I was going to yell at those kids for being careless, but you took charge and got to know them all. You're a natural. Jackson leaned down to kiss me again, but this time it lasted longer. His lips are so soft against mine that I have to stand on my tiptoes to get even closer. As I pull him closer, my arms naturally wrap around his neck, aimed at him. As Jackson deepens the kiss, his hands go to my waist and his tongue presses against my lips. I open up for him and touch my tongue to his, but I'm not sure if I should. The more he kisses me, the more I start to tingle. The kiss makes my head feel light, and the tips of my toes curl up from the feeling. I grab Jackson's hair with my fingers, and he lets out a low groan. I tend to zone out when I'm with Jackson. That's probably why I didn't even hear Skyla open the front door until he whistled loudly. I suddenly jump away from Jackson, partly because I'm shocked and partly because I'm embarrassed. Skyla starts to laugh while Jackson starts to yell at him for interrupting. Skyla laughs, puts his hands up, pretending to be innocent, and says, "Hey, it's not my fault you guys chose to make babies right by the front door." I cover my face with my hands and pretend I'm digging into the ground. I hear a slap and then Skyla whines, "Ow," while my hands are covering my face. I look up and see Jackson smiling while Skyla holds his cheek. His face is scrunched up, which makes him look like he's constipated. Skyla yells, "What was that for?" and a pout forms on her face. Jackson smirks and says, "You know exactly what that was for," then takes my hand and leads me to the kitchen. Skyla follows like a good dog. We get to the dining room, where 30 people are already sitting down. There are a lot of different kinds of chicken, vegetables, pasta, potatoes, and bread on the table, and none of them have been touched. It looks like they're waiting for someone. Everyone is standing and staring at Jackson, then me. That's when I finally understand that they are waiting for him. Jackson walks over to the end of the table and pulls out a chair for me. Then he sits down. Skyla is sitting next to Ezra at the table. Everyone else will sit down after we do. Everyone grabs different bowls and plates and starts serving themselves as if they were told to. I can't believe how many different kinds of food there are, so I just sit still and stay in shock. I've never seen this much food all at once. The food smells amazing. The bread smells like garlic, the potatoes smell like butter, and the chicken smells savory. I don't know what to pick. Jackson's soft laugh pulls me out of my staring contest with the food. He smiles and serves me pasta, then chicken, and finally vegetables across the table. I tell him to stop bringing me more food, but he doesn't listen and keeps filling up my plate until there's no more room on it. He gave me a little bit of everything, and there's no way I'm going to eat all of it. "Jackson, this is too much food. I can't eat this much." He only seems a little interested in what I have to say. "It's okay. I'll eat what you don't finish." I point to his plate, which is full of food. If possible, his plate has even more food than mine. He can't eat all of his food and most of mine. "There's no way you can eat all of this." Ezra, Skyla, and a few nearby werewolves laugh at me. It's not mean, but they seem to find something I said funny. I ask Jackson for more information, and he kisses me lightly on the cheek. "Sometimes I forget that you're new to all of this. I eat 3 times what I have on my plate right now. I'm an alpha werewolf, so I need at least 4,000 calories a day." My jaw drops so low that I'm sure everyone at the table can see my uvula. The werewolves think I'm funny again and make fun of me. Ezra shakes his head and wraps his arm around Skyla while he eats. Skyla gets closer to Ezra and tries to take food off of his plate, but Ezra stops him with his fork and gives him a playful glare. I don't even notice that my mouth is still catching flies while I watch them be cute until Jackson shoves a piece of chicken into my mouth. I quickly close my mouth and chew slowly, savoring the chicken's flavors. It tastes like there's honey sauce on it, and it's the best chicken I've ever had. Everyone likes the food, and as I promised, I could only eat about a third of what was on my plate. Jackson was happy to eat my leftovers, and when dessert came, I could almost feel my stomach bursting just thinking about more food. Of course, I still had room in my dessert stomach for more, but after the chocolate lava cake and the tiramisu, I was full. I was so tired that I was almost falling asleep at the table. I have my arm on the table and my fist on my cheek as I listen to Skyla tell me about his best pranks. It looks like he has a book of pranks with pictures of all the people he tricked. He thinks back to the time he covered Jackson's car with sticky notes, which he says took him 4 hours to do. He took a picture of Jackson as he went to his car and freaked out about how dirty it was. Skyla tells another story about a prank he pulled where he switched all the sugar in the house with salt. When Jackson, Ezra, and the other pack members went to drink their morning coffee, it tasted very salty instead of sweet. Skyla said the black eyes were worth it. Someone is telling another prank story, and I don't even realize I'm falling asleep until Jackson shakes me awake. I mumble, as I wipe the sleep from my eyes. Skyla keeps telling Ezra, Williams, and a few other wolves I know about his best pranks in a lively way. Jackson, on the other hand, looks at me with worry as he lightly strokes my arm. Are you okay? Maybe we should get you to sleep, baby. You look tired. I nod, and Jackson gets up from the table and helps me stand up. As we go upstairs, I say goodbye to everyone and they all say good night to the two of us. I thought we would go into the same room we slept in last week, but we turned a different way at the end of the hallway and ended up in a bedroom we'd never been in before. The room is very big, and the walls are beige. There isn't much blackthorn furniture in the room. The bed is a dark mahogany color and has a navy blue comforter on it. The pillows on the bed look like they would be very comfortable. There are only a few picture frames scattered around the room. Other than that, the walls are pretty bare. The only things on them are some model cars and a few pictures in one corner of the room. This room seems more like Jackson's style because I knew he liked cars and motorcycles. Where are we? I ask, my voice sounding rough and tired. Jackson opens a dresser drawer and takes out a pair of sweatpants and a plain t-shirt. He puts them on the bed. He says, "We're in my room," and then he takes off his shirt. I quickly look away and walk over to the overnight bag that Dylan must have brought in here. Jackson laughs, and when I feel his warm hands over mine, I turn to see him grinning at me with no shirt on. "You can look at me, you know," he says. He licks his bottom lip, and my eyes follow the movement without me even thinking about it. I might be embarrassed to be caught staring at someone else, but a man who is completely shirtless and looks like a model is standing in front of me, almost begging me to look. So I will look. I keep looking at his ripped arms, muscled stomach, and defined pecs and thinking that I don't deserve him. He's too good looking, too nice, and too funny to like someone like me. I don't get how someone like him could fall for someone like me, but I'm done trying to figure it out. He wants to be with me, and I really want to be with him. I take a deep breath and want to say something, but a horrible yawn comes out of my mouth instead. Jackson laughs and kisses me on the forehead before handing me the shirt he just took out of the drawer. I look at him, a little confused, but then he tells me what he means. "I know you packed your own stuff, but I really want my scent on you." It's a werewolf thing. Jackson shifts uncomfortably on his feet as he rubs the back of his neck. He seems a bit shy when he asks me this, and I think it's really cute that he's so sure of himself most of the time but not so sure of himself around me. I take the shirt from him and smile at him a little before going through my bag and getting my toiletries and a pair of pajama shorts with cute pandas on them. I change quickly in the bathroom and then open the door again so that Jackson can come in and brush his teeth. He walks in with no shirt on and the Jackson sweatpants hanging low on his hips, showing off the deep V of his hip bones. It's like an arrow pointing down, and I have to fight my blush as I try not to look at his lower body. Jackson is ignoring my staring, which is good, but that's probably because he's looking at my bare legs. His shirt covers my shorts completely and goes to the middle of my thigh. He looks at me with hunger, taking in my pajamas as if they were a ball gown or a pair of fancy underwear. I start brushing my teeth with my toothbrush, which is something I can do instead of staring at him. Jackson grabs a blue toothbrush and does the same thing. Even though brushing our teeth together is a boring thing to do, it still makes me feel like we're getting closer to each other. He turns off the bathroom light and starts taking the extra pillows off the bed and the comforter off the bed after we're done. I let out a soft sigh as my head hit the pillow. The navy silk sheets were calling my name. When Jackson turns off the side lamp, the room goes dark. It's only 8 o'clock at night, so I know Jackson isn't tired. No matter what, he still gets into bed next to me and pulls me toward him so that my back is against his chest. As he cuddles closer to me, his arm moves toward my waist. He kisses me lightly on the neck. The last thing I hear before I fall asleep in his arms is "I love you." I know where I am when I look around. I never thought I'd be back in this dark alley, but here I am, alone in the space behind Nectar Noir, the supernatural bar Felix and Elise took me to weeks ago. The pavement is still wet and full of cracks that seem to go on for miles. The air feels too humid for this time of year. I try to walk toward the street, but my feet are stuck to the ground by invisible glue. I can't move my legs no matter how hard I try. I can't get my legs out of their locked position, so I cry tears of frustration. After 5 minutes, I give up and look around for someone who can help me. Hello? Please help. No response. It's strange that I can hear my own echo, but not any other sounds. There are no cars honking in the distance. No bass from the club next door. Nothing. I look behind me in the alley, but I can't see anything with my human eyes. When I turn around, I see the same vampire that attacked me that night. He is grinning at me, and the light from the one street lamp makes his sharp fangs shine. He looks just like he did before, pale skin, blood-red eyes, and a big, muscular body. I let out a surprised scream, but he quickly stopped me by grabbing my throat. My screams fade as I struggle to breathe, and my hands uselessly cling to his as I try to get them off my neck. A punch to his face makes him throw his arms off of me right away. The vampire turns around and sees Jackson, who is angry and has black eyes. A loud growl comes from the alley and spreads through the city. He's looking for blood. The vampire laughs at the pain because he's a sadistic creep. They fight each other with their hands. It seems like Jackson is ahead until I hear him groan in pain. I scream and fight to get away from the imaginary binding that is keeping me on the floor. I see the vampire with Jackson's heart in his hand. I scream louder than I ever have before as I hit the ground, not caring about the pain in my knees. My legs are finally free for some reason, and I crawl over to Jackson, crying and holding his dead body. I hold his t-shirt and put my hand over the spot where his heart used to be. I give the vampire a dirty look because he looks so proud of what he did. He smiles and throws the heart farther down the alley. The blue fog rolling in hides the heart from my view, and all of a sudden I can't see Jackson either because there is so much smoke. Kala! Get up! It sounds like Jackson, but it can't be him because he's right in front of me. The voice comes back, and I look up at the sky in confusion. Open your eyes. I can't believe how loud and firm Jackson's voice is. My eyes fly open. I can't see anything, all I can feel is Jackson shaking me harder. I sit up in bed suddenly and see Jackson, who is very much alive, looking down at me with concern. He breathes heavily through his nose, and when he sees that I'm awake, he lets out a big sigh of relief. Are you okay, baby? You were crying in your sleep, and then you started screaming and wouldn't wake up. I didn't know what to do. I can feel the tears on my cheeks, and sadly, this feeling is not new. I've been having the same kind of nightmare for the past week and reacting the same way to it. But I had never woken up to a living Jackson before because I was always alone. I throw myself at him and hold on to him for dear life while I cry into his neck. Jackson easily catches me and rocks me back and forth while gently rubbing my back and scalp. He whispers sweet things in my ear to help me relax. Eventually, my sniffles and tears stop, but I stay on Jackson's lap as my breathing slows. Jackson kisses my head sometimes, and every time he does, I fall more and more in love with him. He backs up a little after a while and wipes the tears off my cheeks. Kala, what happened? His voice is soft and comforting, like I think an angel's voice would be, but I still get tense when he says it. When I realize how close we are, I rush to get off his lap. I'm sorry for what I did and embarrassed that I made him worry. I'm so sorry. I had a nightmare. I'm sorry I woke you up. I'm so stupid. I keep saying how sorry I am for bothering him, but he quiets me down with a small kiss on the lips. I don't care that I woke up. I care that you're this upset. Will you tell me about the nightmare? Talking about it could help you. His words make sense, but I don't want to go through the nightmare again. I don't want to talk about it. The same thing happens every time, I mumble. When Jackson stiffens, I realize I made a mistake. I just said something stupid that this happens all the time. I should get an award for being so dumb. As expected, Jackson asks me more questions. What do you mean the same thing happens every time? Does this happen a lot? His voice is tense and angry, but I know he's not angry at me. But it's still a little too much when he shows his dominance like this. He'll go back to sleep as soon as I tell him what he wants to know. I'll stay up all night so I don't wake him up again. To wake myself up, I'll drink even more coffee in the morning. I've had the same terrible nightmare every night this week. I can't sleep because I keep waking up crying, I say quietly. I hug Jackson tighter, and he rubs my back to make me feel better. That explains why you've been so tired and why you have bags under your eyes. What are the dreams about? You. Jackson pulls his head back and puts his hands on my cheeks. With the way he's looking at me right now, his light blue eyes look more like steel. What? Tell me. I can't ask him any questions, so I start to tell him about the nightmares. I've been having these awful dreams about you ever since last week. The first one was when I came here really early in the morning last week. I dreamed that you were killed. Every night after that, you would die in my dreams. You would be stabbed, beheaded, or have your heart ripped out every time you tried to protect me. I cry into his shoulder, hyperventilating just thinking about him dead. There was always this dumb blue fog, and then I would wake up and what? Jackson's voice is tense and sounds more like a growl than a scream. I shake just from the power of the one word he says. I look into his eyes, which are getting darker and darker as his wolf instincts kick in. Did you just say blue fog? It's there every time. I nod my head, not sure why the strange blue fog in my dream is so important. I guess I don't understand anything because Jackson easily picks me up and carries me out of his room. As he walks toward a room I don't know, I wrap my legs around his waist. When he kicks the door open in anger, I start to worry about why he got so angry so quickly. Does he know why these bad dreams keep happening? Jackson sits down in a big chair that can turn around and is behind a desk full of papers. He moves me so that I'm sitting sideways on his lap and leaning into his chest. He's still not wearing a shirt, and I really like that because it lets me snuggle up against his bare chest. A moment later, movement at the door of the room caught my eye. Ezra looks tough, with messy blonde hair falling in his face. Skyla, on the other hand, looks sleepy, with a wrinkled band t-shirt and boxers on. It looks like they both woke up in the middle of the night. Along with the two of them, Williams follows a redhead I know from dinner. I guess she's his girlfriend because they're holding hands. They also seem tired. Williams skips the small talk and asks right away, "Alpha, what's wrong?" The four of them look worried. I would be, too, if I woke up in the middle of the night to find an angry Jackson. He doesn't just look mad now that I look at him. He looks really angry. His eyes are completely black as he grips them tightly. Kala has been having nightmares, he says, and I try to tell him that it's not worth waking them up in the middle of the night, but he doesn't listen. For the past week, she's been having dreams about my death in different ways, and all of them have blue fog in them. When I say blue fog, everyone looks at me with concern. Ezra looks worried, Skyla looks scared, Williams looks sorry for me, and the redhead looks at me with understanding in her eyes. And pity. Ezra takes charge while everyone else in the room is still in shock and says, "How could this have happened? Why do you think I know? It's your job to figure this out. Now." She's not sleeping as it is. Jackson hits his desk so hard that it cracks the wood. The loud bang makes me whimper in surprise. "Control yourself, Alpha. You're making your mate scared," Williams says, pointing to my shaking body in Jackson's lap. Jackson mutters, as he looks down at my curled-up body. He kisses my forehead a few times and runs a hand down my back to calm me down. I feel better right away when I'm in his arms again. He opens his eyes, and I'm glad to see that they are blue again. He is back in charge. He takes a deep breath through his nose and relaxes before turning back to the group. "Skyla, you spend the most time with Kala. Is there ever someone at school who seems suspicious and could have done this? What could have been done? Did I make my dreams bad?" He is clearly talking about something otherworldly that could have changed my dreams in a magical way, but what kind of creature could do that? And why? Skyla squints his eyes, which is what he does when he needs to focus. I can almost see the wheels turning in his head. His eyes get bigger and his jaw drops after a few seconds. He starts to pace around the room as he thinks more deeply, cursing more than a sailor. Explain. Now. Jackson is getting angry, and Skyla looks at him with his neck bare and shame on his face. I'm so sorry. I didn't think anything of it at the time. There was someone with a strange smell talking to Kala, but it was so small that I just ignored it. Looking back, it must have been a warlock hiding his smell. I can't believe I messed up. Kala, I'm so sorry. Skyla came up to me and knelt down next to me, taking my hand. He was so sorry that his eyes were filling with tears as he sat in front of me. You're my Luna. I failed at my one job, which was to protect you. I promise to make it right. Okay, now I'm not sure what you mean. They're using words that I don't get. Did a warlock give me bad dreams? I don't even know what a warlock can do. The only one I know of is Magnus Bane from City of Bones, and he's not real. I ask a million questions, but I'm not sure which ones I want answered first. What are you guys talking about? A warlock did this to me? Can he undo it? And who is he? When Jackson holds me closer and growls, "Who is he?" it makes things easier for me. I can tell that the fact that it's a guy makes him 10 times angrier. He was already very angry, but now I'm afraid he's going to kill this warlock. I want the warlock to pay, but I don't think killing him is the right thing to do. That guy with the white hair in your ethics class. The one I told you not to talk to last week. Felix. I ask, shocked by what I just heard. The blue fog in my dreams did look like the blue flash in Felix's eyes when we were fighting. He touched my hand, and shocks went through my body, making me weak for a moment. The timeline makes sense, that was the first night I had nightmares. Why didn't I put the pieces together sooner? I knew Felix could be a part of the supernatural world, but I didn't think he would try to hurt me. I thought Felix and Elise were my friends, but the whole time they were lying to me. They probably only became friends with me because I was Jackson's mate and they wanted to make him weaker. What better way to do that than to attack his weak, defenseless human mate? I am more angry than ever that I am weak. I'm a weak person who can't protect herself and needs other werewolves to help her. I'm the worst kind of damsel because I can't even see the danger in front of me. I never even thought that something supernatural was wrong with me and that Jackson had to save me again. This is so embarrassing. I feel like I was let down more than anything else. I thought Felix was a friend and trusted him. Now that I know our friendship was a lie, I want to cry again. I feel like I've been used. I'm hurt. Who is Felix? Jackson asks both me and Skyla. He's mad again, which is great. He's my friend. Well, he was my friend from ethics class. We studied together a few times, and oh my god, I'm so stupid. He and his twin Elise took me to Nectar Noir. That was a supernatural club, right? That's why they were there, and the vampires showed up? Oh my god! I start to cry again because I can't handle how I feel. This betrayal and my lack of sleep are costing me a lot. I don't feel well, and I think Jackson can tell because he growls protectively and pulls me even closer to him. You're not dumb, baby. He's dumb for thinking he can hurt you. Williams, Jackson's voice is much softer when he talks to me than when he talks to Williams. The change in his voice is amazing, and I'm glad he cares about me so much and knows he needs to be gentle with me. I want him in jail by sunrise. Yes, Alpha. I can't help but yawn again. It's getting harder and harder for me to stay awake. I curl up closer to Jackson, looking for any kind of comfort. Now that I'm thinking about all the sleep I've missed and the strange reason why, I'm finally completely exhausted. I'm cranky and emotional, and my eyelids keep closing every few seconds, which wakes me up. I know that if I go to sleep, I'll have another nightmare that could be worse for my health. Charlotte, do you have any ideas for now? Jackson asks. He asks the question to Williams's friend, the red-haired girl I haven't met yet. She looks great even though she was woken up in the middle of the night. Her hair is naturally wavy and fiery, and her green eyes shine like emeralds. She's definitely taller than me, probably 5'5" or 5'6", but then again, everyone is taller than me. I'm only 5'1". Charlotte looks at me with what she probably thinks is a small smile, but it looks more like a grimace. She starts to speak up, but not very loudly. I'm really sorry, but there's not much you can do. I will say that falling asleep is the last thing you want to do. Every time you fall asleep, the magic will be siphoning energy off of you, making you even more exhausted than when you were awake. I can reach out to my friends in another coven and see if they have any magical potions that can soften the effects of the spell. Unfortunately, the only way these spells can be lifted is if the casting witch or warlock removes them. She bows her head, clearly upset that she can't do anything else. Williams kisses her cheek and puts his arm around her waist. She leans into him for support and smiles sadly at him. I wonder how Charlotte learned so much about magic. I'll have to ask her when this nightmare is over and I've had a full 48 hours to sleep. Jackson growls. So you're saying that if we don't find this warlock soon, Calla will never be able to sleep? He sounds mad at Charlotte for telling him the news, but I know he's just mad for my sake. With his alpha's voice getting louder, I can see Williams's grip on Charlotte get tighter and more protective. He doesn't say anything, he just stands there and waits for orders. One thing I've learned about werewolves is that they are very loyal. They are very protective of their mates, and sometimes too protective. They will protect their alpha and Luna with their lives. I don't know Charlotte very well, but I can tell that she will do everything she can to help me, just because I'm Jackson's mate and her Luna. It's nice to know that there are more people in my life who care about me. Yes, Alpha. That's what I'm saying. Calla will get worse and worse, and eventually, Charlotte looks away and bites her lip as she finishes her sentence. It's clear what she means. I'll die if we don't find Felix. Jackson makes the loudest growl I've ever heard. The other people in the room are so affected by the sound that their knees start to wobble from the sheer power he lets out. The noise is so loud that it shakes the furniture, and I bet anyone who was sleeping is now wide awake. His canines are fully out, and his eyes are completely black. He holds on to me more tightly as he stands up and towers over the other 4 pack leaders. They are betas and gammas, but they are not as strong or powerful as Jackson. I put my head on his neck and give him little kisses to calm him down, even though my ears are still ringing from his outburst and I'm a little more tense from his anger. I'm starting to get the whole mating thing because Jackson slowly, and I mean slowly, pulls back his aura of power. It's okay, Jackson. They'll find Felix. I'm fine, I say in a low voice. You're not fine, Kala. Don't act like you are. He rubs his nose along my neck, probably to remember that I'm still here with him and alive. Get the pack warriors together. We're leaving for the Coven in 20 minutes. I want him alive. The betas and gammas look at each other with pity, determination, and anger, which makes me sure that they will try to undo this sleep magic. I guess they are going to wake up some pack members and start looking for Felix when they turn around and leave. It's hard to believe that a friend of mine is a warlock. Jackson told me that they were real and lived in covens, but that's all I know. I don't know if they use wands, potions, spellbooks, or cauldrons. I don't know how they live, but I do know that I'm hurt. I don't think I can forgive Felix for hurting me. He used me to get to Jackson, and that makes me angrier than I can say. Jackson shouldn't be upset, and I can tell he's angry that I'm not doing well just by looking at his eyes, which are always switching between blue and black. When the other people leave the office, Jackson takes me back to his room. He pushes the door to his bedroom open with his back and then closes it again with his foot. I probably would have fallen on my face if I had tried to do that. Because he is a werewolf, he can do simple things very quickly and easily. I have to admit that I'm a little jealous. He puts me in his bed and uses pillows to support me. I let him take care of me because I knew that if I tried to say anything, he would shut me up right away. His wolf side makes him want to protect and take care of me even more, so I let him put me in a position. He croaks out, "What can I do?" with a lot of feeling in his voice. I look down at him with tired eyes and smile a little. I reach out to him and cuddle him. I close my eyes and let my arms hang over his chest. Nothing, I can feel the darkness starting to cloud my mind, but I quickly wake up. Kala. Baby, you can't go to sleep. You heard what Charlotte said. I'm so sorry, but you need to stay awake. He lifts me up from the bed and grumbles about how dumb he was to put me there where I could easily fall asleep. He puts me down in an armchair in the corner of the room and asks, "How about I make you some coffee? You like that, right?" I nod because I'm too tired to talk and I don't want to complain more. I've stayed up all night for school before, but going almost a week without enough sleep. It feels like I'm dying, though. I look like death too, and my mind is racing because I know that my old friend is trying to kill me. Okay, I'm going to get you a big cup of coffee. Please try to stay awake, okay? I'll be right back. Jackson practically runs out the door to get me coffee after giving me a quick kiss on the cheek. I would find his eagerness funny in any other situation, but right now I can't really think straight. Jackson also tells me all the time that I drink too much coffee and that it's not good for me to have that much caffeine. But now he's the one who wants to bring me some. Things change in strange ways. I can feel my eyes getting heavy, so I look for an interesting place on the wall where I can just barely see some spackle that was painted over to match the room's color. I wonder what made that hole. Jackson comes back with a huge mug of coffee in record time. I swear, it looks like one of those mugs that people buy as a joke to give to their friends and family. That's how big it is that they don't even touch when I hold the mug. I blow on it and take a quick sip of the best drink in the world because the warmth that seeps into my hands makes me feel tired and fuzzy. I look up at Jackson with tired, playful eyes and say, "This is a bit too much, don't you think?" It doesn't look like Jackson wants to joke around. "You need to keep drinking this." He then crouches down in front of me and puts his hands on my cheeks. He runs his finger over the dark circles under my eyes and frowns. "I have to leave you. It hurts me to do so, but I'm the alpha and the only way the coven can give up Felix is if I go and threaten them. Skyla will stay with you to keep you awake, and 2 guards will stand outside the room to protect you. I'm really sad that Jackson can't stay with me, but I'm glad he's trying to help me. I don't know where Felix is because he hasn't answered my calls or texts. Jackson trying to find him is the best thing that can happen for my recovery." I scowl and set the big mug on the floor. I put my arms around his neck and sigh because I miss him already. "Okay. I'll miss you. Yet. I'm so tired that I don't seem to have a filter, so word vomit is very likely to happen." I let him go from the hug, which Jackson doesn't like, so I can tell him something. "Before you leave, you have to promise me something." "Anything," he says as he takes my hand. I can tell he understands how important this is to me because of the way I speak. "You can't hurt him." He laughs. "Anything but that. Please?" "Jackson, I'm so mad, frustrated, tired, and confused about this situation. He used to be my friend. Who knows why he's doing this? Maybe he thinks he has no other choice, or maybe he was forced to." Jackson is already shaking his head a lot. "I love how you try to see the good in everyone, but warlocks don't care about human lives. Your friend did it because he and his coven are trying to start a war with my pack through you. They know I'll be weaker without you. So, no. I will definitely hurt him, and as soon as you're better, he'll be dead for even touching you. No." I yell, getting up quickly and pushing him back. He doesn't even budge. "Dumb werewolf power. You can't kill him. You have to let me talk to him. I'm sure there's a reason." I'm really reaching for straws now. At first, I felt like Felix had betrayed me, but then I remembered how sad he looked when we said goodbye. There must have been a reason for him. There is no way that our whole friendship was a lie. I do believe the best about people, and I really hope I'm right that Felix didn't want to hurt me. A soft knock on the door stops our fight. Skyla stands in the doorway with his own cup of coffee and slowly walks into the room. Jackson just glares at him, clearly upset that he was interrupted. "The pack has been trying to mind link you. They're ready." "I know," Jackson says, and then he turns back to me and kisses me on the forehead for a long time. The kiss makes me feel all the love and protection, and it warms me to my core. He lowers his head so that his lips are right next to my ear. "Don't even think about talking to that warlock. Don't test me." I widen my eyes at him and back away a little from the way he talks. Jackson has never talked to me in a stern voice before. It makes me a little scared. I bite my lip and look away from him, too upset to respond. He used his alpha voice. I know this because he expects me to follow his command like I'm one of his pack members. Sucks for him when he realizes that he can't tell me what to do. Jackson starts, then he clears his throat. I'll be back as soon as I can. Jackson turns to Skyla, who also looks a bit scared by him. Don't let her fall asleep or else there will be consequences. Skyla gulps and nods his head. Jackson leaves without another word, and the tension in the room leaves with him. Your mate is scary, Skyla whines as he pulls me down into the comfy armchair and plops down next to me. He holds out my coffee mug for me as he scrolls through Netflix to find a movie to watch. I take it from him and swallow a huge gulp, the warmth already waking me up a bit more. Oh, wait. I have the perfect thing to watch. Skyla speeds out of the room, my hair whipping across my face from the speed at which he leaves. In a second, he's back with 5 DVDs. He puts the first one into the DVD player and joins me in the armchair once more. We're watching Twilight, but with a twist. He grins mischievously. Oh no, what does he have planned? I do enjoy the Twilight series, so I definitely don't mind watching with him. However, I am still a bit confused about what his idea of a twist is. What is it? I hesitantly ask. Every time Emmett acts as a creepy overprotective boyfriend, we take a shot. In this case, we drink coffee. So, prepare to finish that whole mug by only half of the movie. I laugh so hard, definitely remembering how many times Emmett acts irrationally for Letty. This will be fun. I do notice that we drink a lot of coffee while we watch the movie. In biology class, Emmett stares at Letty. Drink. Does Emmett drive around town with Letty? Drink. Did Emmett watch Letty sleep? Drink. And drink, and drink, and drink. By the time the first movie is over, I've drunk most of my big mug of coffee, and I'm a nervous wreck. I'm still very tired, but at least I'm having fun and making the best of the situation. Next, Skyla puts in a new moon. Okay, every time we see Jacob being pathetic because he loves someone who doesn't love him back, we drink. The sound of a gust of wind fills the room after just 10 minutes of the movie. Skyla and I turn around, and my eyes widen as Skyla stands in front of me to protect me from the intruders. Felix's point of view this week has been one of the hardest I've ever had. I couldn't explain my situation to Kala because she wouldn't talk to me. She can be very stubborn when she wants to be. I was trying to do what she always says is the right thing to do, but she won't even let me when I finally try. What? I didn't think I would like her. I thought this was just another job. At first, I was sent to campus to make friends with Skyla and then kill him once he trusted me. The best way to break up the pack would be to kill the betas, since their Alpha Jackson didn't have a mate. Beta Ezra would die if Skyla died, and my coven could easily swoop in and kill the pack so that we magical beings could finally practice magic without worrying about what stupid humans could see. My mission changed right away when I found out that Alpha Jackson might have a mate, and a human one at that. Now, I wanted to be friends with the girl and make sure she was the Alpha's mate. The only issue is, I started to like her while I was making sure she was the right girl. A lot. She made my otherwise dull and boring life a lot happier. Her moral arguments were so wrong and human, but I still wanted to be like her in that way. I never had to be ethical. The coven doesn't care about people, they only care about their own magic. The coven leaders were angry with the werewolves because they were guarding our magic practice. They asked me to weaken them so we could get ready for war. But now I feel something I've never felt before: guilt. Who knew guilt could hurt this much? What I did to Kala makes me sick to my stomach. I was told to kill her. Instead, I gave myself some time to think about how to save her. Elise knew how I felt right away. She's my twin, so she called me out right after we left Steamy Bean Cafe the first time they met. The vampire was the coven's way of testing to see if she was Alpha Jackson's mate. We were supposed to go to Nectar Noir, and Jackson and his pack were supposed to show up when she was in danger. That way, the coven could be 100% sure that Kala was Jackson's mate. Then we were supposed to get her to trust us more, have her accidentally tell us the pack's secrets, and then kill her. Easy as pie, right? That dumb, stupid thing called guilt got in the way. Kala told me that she was close to Jackson, and I couldn't stop the vampire attack fast enough. The coven members surrounded the place and wouldn't let me stop the violence. She got hurt really badly, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. She must have been very scared. After that, my heart hurt. I knew that it was all my fault. I tried to say sorry, but she didn't want to talk to me. People can be so touchy at times. I know I helped plan her death, but she didn't know that. After that, I was told to kill her. Kala, my small, weak, moral friend, taught me more about life than I ever thought possible. I knew I couldn't do it. I cast a spell on her called Somnia Insomnus to give myself more time. It slowly kills the victim, not letting them rest. Their worst fears haunt their dreams, and after a few weeks, they die from a mix of not getting enough sleep, fear, and sadness. That night, when I cast it, I cried myself to sleep. While my bosses praised me for a great slow death for Kala, I was sad for my friend. I saw that she kept texting me, but I couldn't answer. Not knowing that she would die so soon, and that I would be the one to do it. Elise came into my room 2 nights ago in the middle of the night. I was up late writing poems, which I only do when I'm sad. She must have had some kind of twin telepathy because she knew exactly when to come in. "Hey, little bro," Elise said as she sat down next to me. I turned my notebook away from her so she couldn't see what I was writing. "I'm literally only 3 minutes older than you," I mumble, annoyed that she keeps bringing it up. "Oh, hush. I'm older, so I'm smarter. I also know when my brother is upset about something. So, tell me why you're acting even more sad than usual." I stop writing phrases in my worn-out notebook and let it fall onto my lap. She looks at me like she knows everything, like she already knows the answers. That doesn't surprise me because she thinks she knows everything. But this time, she doesn't know what's bothering me. I usually talk to her about everything, but I've been shutting her out while I feel more guilty than ever. "I don't feel sad," I say quietly, not looking them in the eye. "Okay, that makes sense. You're writing sad poetry because you're not sad." I yell at her, "You know what? You don't know anything. I don't have to tell you everything. I'm dealing with a lot right now, and I don't need you to sit here and act like you understand everything. By the time I'm done with my mini rant, my chest is rising and falling quickly with each breath. Hey, she says softly and takes my hand. You're right. I don't get it. Please help me get it. I did. I told her about my friendship with Kala and how bad I felt about her dying soon. At that point, she came up with a plan. This is a dumb plan that will probably get us killed, but it's the only one that might save Kala and me from losing someone I care about. I stopped worrying about how it will affect me. The coven will be angry, but I don't care. In any case, I'm stronger than most of them. That night, Jackson and his pack members decide to attack the coven headquarters and demand that we undo the spell. Elise and I portal out of my bedroom and into the lion's den or wolf's den. Our magic is stronger when we work together as twins. I'm scared of getting my face clawed off, but I'd do anything for Kala. I don't want to say how much she means to me. Elise grabs my hand and squeezes it hard. Are you ready? She asks. I look into her brown eyes, which are just like mine, and I suddenly feel very thankful for her. She doesn't care if Kala lives or dies, but she's willing to put her own life on the line to make me feel better. Our family didn't show us love when we were growing up. Our mom is tough and won't forgive us. She taught us from a young age that we are above all other creatures and that we should always let them know this. There aren't many witches and warlocks left because a lot of us are born with little or no power. There aren't many people with strong magic anymore because the bloodlines have been so mixed up. Elise and I are one of a kind. I'm ready. I close my eyes and we start to chant. Viditur. Inveniat Kala. Viditur. Inveniat Kala. I can feel the magic coming to life under my fingers after saying the words a few more times. The usual blue color or energy spreads out from us and starts to shimmer as it works. I feel the usual nausea that comes with going through a portal, but after doing this kind of interdimensional travel enough times, I've learned how to hold in my vomit. As I thought, Elise and I portal to the pack house. You can portal to a place or to a person. I wasn't sure where we would end up since we ported to Kala. It's easy to tell we're in the pack house, and more specifically, in the Alpha's bedroom, just by looking around the masculine bedroom. As soon as the magic stopped, a deep growl filled the room. Elise casts a spell to silence everyone before the noise gets too loud, just like we practiced. Silence. This spell makes the room look like it's wrapped in bubble wrap. No one outside the room can hear anything going on inside, so if there are more guards outside, they won't know anything is wrong. Wolves have that dumb mind link, so we do another spell to stop it. Somnum, I say quietly, and with a quick movement of my wrist, a light blue magic covers the werewolf I was supposed to befriend. I'm glad I never had to talk to him. He seems way too hyper, and it would have been hard to be friends with him. Skyla falls to the ground like a bag of bricks, and his head hits the floor on the way down. Oof, that's going to hurt when he wakes up later, Elise says with a laugh as she cracks her knuckles and looks at Kala. Kala looks scared, but when she sees me, she gets mad. She kneels down in front of the werewolf and starts to listen for his breathing. She stands up and storms over to me when she realizes he's still alive. She screams, "What did you do to him?" I think she thinks she's scaring me, but she's not at all scary. But if she needs to scream at me to calm down, I let her do it. She pushes me hard right away. I'm stronger than a person, but the action caught me off guard and I fell back a few steps before getting my balance back. People don't usually stand up to me. I can easily hurt almost any kind of supernatural being, and because I have this power, others can feel it and won't attack me. A weak person in front of me thinks she can hurt me. It's almost funny. I don't listen to everything she's yelling at me, but I do hear words and phrases like "how dare you," "nightmares," and "stupid warlock." I'm glad she found out I'm a warlock. I don't have to keep anything from her anymore. She tries to push me again, but Elisa's magic stops her. Elisa's magic sends Kala flying across the room and into a wall, where she stays floating. Elise slowly walks over to her, as if she's stalking her prey. "Don't ever touch my brother like that." She keeps moving slowly across the room until she reaches Kala, who is shaking. I can see that Kala is trying to be brave, but she is clearly scared. I don't want to see this anymore. We're here to help Kala, not scare her more. "Elise, put her down. Are you tired?" Elise asks, putting her face right in front of Kala's. "Do you want to take a nap?" Kala's eyes get big as she slowly shakes her head. Elise laughs in her face without holding back. She backs up to bring magic to the surface and show off the blue color at her fingertips. "I can do the same thing to Sleepy over there," she says, pointing to the werewolf's body. "One word, and you'll be asleep. Let me go, you evil witch." Kala screams as she tries to break free from the spell. She is kicking her legs in the open air as she tries to get free. As she keeps moving, tears of anger fill her eyes. "Okay, fine. Do it your way. Elise, don't you dare!" I try to stop her from letting Kala go, but she lets her go anyway. Kala falls to the ground and lands hard on her knees, which already looked like they were scraped up. The cuts open up again, and I can't help but want to help her. I hate it when she hurts. When Elise goes up to Kala again, I lose it. Elise stops in her tracks and can't move. This spell I cast makes the person who gets it stop moving. Elise gives me a nasty look. She is clearly upset, but she will get over it. She was going to hurt Kala even more, and I didn't come here to do that. I feel guilty and sad when I see Kala hurt. The bags under her eyes look like the bright stuff girls put on their faces when you look at her now. She looks tired all over, and her eyes are red around the edges. "Before you say anything else, I just want you to know that I'm sorry for everything. I didn't want to cast that spell on you. My coven made me do it, and I know that doesn't make up for anything. We came here to undo it. I care about you, Kala." I thought Kala would do something, but it wasn't what she actually did. She came right up to me and slapped me in the face. Tough. I quickly put my hand on my face as I held it. That hurts. I guess I deserved that. Next, this girl gives me a hug. I'm really confused now. She hits me and then hugs me? What's going on? I hug her back instead of asking her what's wrong. I'm just glad she forgave me. I feel better already, and a small smile spreads across my face. Her hug makes me feel warm in a new way, and she's so small and cute. She lets go of me and looks me in the eye. "You promise you didn't want to?" she asks in a small, hopeful voice. I want nothing more than to stop her tears. Her eyes are shiny. "I promise. I'll tell you everything, but first I need to break the spell so you won't be in danger anymore." She nods her head in thanks and bites her lip in excitement. I have to make myself stop thinking about the movement. She has a werewolf partner. And she's a person. I can't think these things about her. I slowly turn to Elise as I get rid of the bad thoughts. "I'm going to unfreeze you now. You won't hurt Kala in any way, or I'll hurt you worse. Do you understand?" Elise rolls her eyes, which is all she can do because she's frozen. I take that as a yes, so I unfreeze her. She trips and falls back, but she doesn't fall to the ground. "You," she yells, and then she rolls her neck and cracks her joints. "I'll never understand why you love this mortal so much." She moves closer to Kala to cast the spell, which we need to do by touching her, but Kala backs up as far as she can and looks to me for help. "It's okay. She won't hurt you. We're both a little tired from the portal, the sleep spell, and the silencing spell. I need her help to undo it." She nods slowly and then looks at the werewolf sleeping on the floor. "Can you wake him up, though? What if he's hurt?" I don't like how caring she is, but I calmly explain that if I wake Skyla up, he'll tell the guards through mind link that other supernaturals are attacking her. She does what she is told. We put our hands on each of her shoulders and close our eyes as we bring our magic to the surface. It's harder to do because we've both cast a lot of spells and are tired. Just when I think my magic is working, the door flies off its hinges. Great! Kala's point of view. My head is spinning when Felix and Elise suddenly appear in the middle of the room. I didn't expect people to just show up in Jackson's bedroom out of nowhere. I guess a witch and a warlock can make portals. Check that box for supernatural powers. Felix showing up now, after not talking to me all week, made me mad. I would have hoped he would have said something, even if it was just to apologize, since he knew he was the cause. Nothing. He didn't give me anything. Then he and his twin show up, and the first thing they do is they cast a spell on my best friend. Before I could think about anything, Skyla was asleep on the floor. How could he? I started pushing Felix after I knew Skyla was okay. I don't know where I got the courage to keep hitting him and yelling at him, but I did. Then, I'm in the air. I've always wanted to fly, but when I'm floating because a witch is angry at me for attacking her brother and using her magic to keep me pinned to the wall. Not fun. I won't lie, I was scared. It only took a moment for my feelings to calm down before I realized I was attacking two very strong supernatural beings that could kill me in a second. I told myself I wouldn't cry, and I didn't. I think Jackson has been rubbing off on me because I stayed strong even when I was scared. I didn't cry or get all worked up like I would have a month ago when Elise was yelling at me. Felix told her to stop. He said he didn't want to hurt me, but he had to. I'm really looking forward to questioning him, but first he needs to break this dumb spell that keeps him from sleeping. The door literally flies off its hinges just as Felix and Elise are about to fix me. Jackson, Ezra, and the guards who were supposed to be guarding the door are standing in front of us. I guess they'll get yelled at later. Jackson's angry eyes scan the room until they find me. When he sees me, the tension usually goes away. This time, he looks even more tense. It makes sense that Felix and Elise are holding my shoulders. This does seem a little sneaky, but he doesn't know that they're trying to help me. When Jackson gets mad, he growls loudly, which makes the hair on my arms stand up. I just want to run over to him and hug him while calmly explaining what's going on. The twins stop me when I try to do that. Guys, let me go to him. He doesn't get it. You're not going anywhere, Cupcake, Elise says with a frown as she pulls me back into her and wraps her hand around my neck. It's not hurting me, but she could easily kill me with her magic if she wanted to. Elise holds her palm up to Jackson, which makes the blue magic go away. Get back, Wolfie. Jackson growls but doesn't come any closer because he's worried about my safety. As Ezra's canines come down and his claws come out, I can see his eyes change color. He clearly isn't happy with Skyla, who is still lying on the floor. Ezra loses it and turns into a wolf right in front of me, ripping his clothes to shreds. His golden brown wolf growls loudly and runs over to the side of the room where Skyla is. Defensionese. Elise yells out of nowhere, and a blue holographic shield pops up in front of Skyla. Me, Elise, and Felix. Ezra's wolf runs into the wall and bounces off of it. He whines a little as his body is thrown against the wall. I think the shield burns anyone who steps into it because I can see steam coming off of Ezra's golden coat. For 2.5 seconds, I'm scared, but then I see him get up and growl loudly at Elise for keeping him from his mate. Felix says, "Don't do anything stupid. We came here to help Kala, and we can't do that if we're dead." He decides to be the voice of reason. Jackson, Ezra, and 4 other pack members walk as far as they can to the boundary and give the coven members their worst looks. "Right," Jackson says with a laugh. "You came onto our land to save Kala after trying to kill her." "I'm not an idiot." Jackson's teeth start to come down, which starts his shift. "If he turns into a wolf, there will be no way to save me." Elise was already on the fence, so I don't need to give her a reason to kill me. "Jackson, please believe them." He looks at me in shock and then in anger. I can tell he wants to say no, but I can't let him. "Please. As your Luna, your friend." "Stop." My voice is clear as I give the order. I don't think I've ever spoken like this before, but I feel strong. Jackson feels the difference. He doesn't seem happy about it, but he takes a step back to show that he won't attack right now. Good news. Elise slowly lets go of my neck. Felix and Elise are not touching me right now. The force field is the only thing that is stopping me. I ask Felix to let me go to Jackson. "Absolutely not," Elise says, wiping the sweat off her forehead. It looks like this boundary spell is really draining her. I don't know how long she can keep doing this. How long can witches use magic before they run out of energy? Felix looks at me with a hard look in his eyes. "Once she lets you go, we're dead. If we leave, you'll be dead within a day because of the spell. The only way for you to live is if Elise puts down the shield and your werewolf doesn't kill us. We'll do the spell, but then we have to leave here alive." I nod and turn to Jackson. He seems angry, but I can tell from the way he nods his head that he'll do anything to keep me safe. Okay, I say. No, Elise says with a frown. I want to hear that from Sir Alpha over there. Elise walks to the edge of the border and stares Jackson in the eyes. If the force field wasn't there, I'd be worried that they were going to kiss because they're so close to each other. It's clear that they don't like each other, they look like they want to kill each other. Elise is a head shorter than Jackson, but she acts just as tough. It could be the piercings and the colored hair. You have my word that I'll let you two go when you save Kala. But if I ever see you two again, I'll kill you without a second thought. Ditto, Elise says with a smirk, then backs away. Elise says, ex salvo defensiones. There is no longer a magical barrier between us when she speaks. Ezra runs straight to Skyla, even though he is still a wolf. His wolf stands over Skylar's sleeping body to protect it while he glares at Felix and Elise. His body is lightly touching Skylar's, and he is still on the defensive, ready to attack if he needs to. At the same time, Jackson runs up to me really fast like a werewolf and pulls me into his arms. The tingles come back full force as he runs his hands over my body looking for signs of pain. He pulls me back into his body and sighs loudly after he's sure I'm not hurt, other than the tired look on my face. I'm so sorry I left you. If I had known these disgusting magic users were going to try anything, it's okay, Jackson. I'm fine. They're here to help, I say as I hug him back tightly. Jackson looks at Felix and Elise. Elise falls to the side, and Felix runs over to her and whispers something in her ear. I can't hear it, but Jackson and some of the guards do because a group of growls fills the room. We had a deal. He yells, adding a wolf growl to make his point. Felix laughs and then leans back against the wall on the other side. We did agree to help Kala, but we didn't set a deadline. We're both too tired to use that kind of heavy magic right now. We need a few hours to recharge. Felix makes sense now. He should probably rest and do the spell when he's at full strength, even though I wish he could do it right now. I wish he had made that clear before he led us on. I just want to go to sleep. All you warlocks and your games. Jackson says to Felix. I can feel his chest rumbling with each word he says when I put my head on it. It's surprisingly calming. I know it only takes you, he says, pointing to Felix, to break the spell. You don't need her, he says, pointing to Elise. Yes, technically. Felix crosses his arms and smiles at Jackson. But the smile isn't real. The smile of the winner is the one that says they know they've beaten the other person. But we need to get out of here through a portal before you all eat us. So we both need to get stronger for a portal. Fix her now. Jackson growls. He has never yelled this much before. I get why he's upset. This is how things are right now, even though I'm tired and cranky. We need to wait for Felix and Elise to get their energy back. I don't know if that means taking a nap, eating, or resting. There is no way to get around this. Jackson, let them rest. I yawn before I can finish my sentence. As I lean into Jackson's chest more, my vision starts to get blurry. At this point, he's carrying most of my weight. The adrenaline rush is over, and I'm even more tired now. I can feel my eyes closing, and I'm about to pass out while standing up. Don't go to sleep, baby. Look what you've done to her. I think Jackson is yelling at Felix, but I'm not paying much attention. I suddenly felt very lightheaded. I've been working hard for the last half hour, and now I'm tired. Felix's voice sounds like he's underwater when he says, "Look, I didn't have a choice." I think he says something else, but I can't hear what he says. It feels like my head is full of cotton. The dark, dizzy feeling of sleep almost takes over my body, but then something very cold falls on my face. I open my eyes, and I see Jackson with his eyebrows furrowed as he looks at my face. It feels like he put a cold washcloth on my face, at least, that's what I think he did. When he's focused, he looks so cute. Jackson's frown, which was very serious before, turns into a small grin as his mouth turns up in a smile. He says, "You're cute, too." Oh no! I said that out loud. Jackson sits in the armchair and puts me on his lap in a way that makes me feel comfortable. Someone gives me the big cup of coffee again and tells me to drink it. When I drink it, I cringe and turn my head away. "I'm cold," I whine. I enjoy coffee that is hot. I enjoy coffee that has been chilled. I really, really hate coffee that is room temperature. It smells bad and isn't natural. The coffee is warm again before Jackson even tries to heat it up. "Really?" Felix waved his hand, and the cup was now magically hot. "Warlock, stop using your magic for no reason." Felix says, "My bad," to Jackson, who is glaring at him from across the room. Felix and Elise are eating crackers, which is probably to give them more energy for the spell. I think Felix and Elise don't want to sleep in enemy territory, and the wolves don't want to rest while magical beings are in their territory. This is going to be a long night. You've had enough rest. Now take off the spell. Jackson takes me to Felix and Elise and stands me in front of them. Since they started to rest, he hasn't stopped pacing and fidgeting. He wants them to leave his area, and who can blame him? It's clear that the magic users and the wolves have been at odds for a while, and this problem made things even worse. "Okay, let's do this." Felix cracks his knuckles, rolls his neck, and bounces on his toes. I think he's trying to make things more dramatic than they need to be. He cast the spell in 2 seconds, so how long would it take to get rid of it? I walk closer to the twins to get ready for them to break this spell, but Jackson grabs my hand before I can get any closer. "Wait," he whispers. He pulls me close and holds me tight. I've been hugging him for hours to stay awake, but I guess being a werewolf makes him more cuddly than a regular person. I'm not complaining. "After this, you can sleep as long as you want, okay?" He tucks a piece of hair that fell out of my messy bun behind my ear. I nod at him and bite my lip. I'm so excited to go to bed and stay there. I let go of Jackson and walk over to the twins, who are ready to cast the 2 spells. Felix puts his hand on my right shoulder, and Elise puts hers on my left shoulder. I've already written down that Jackson is growling, which is one of his personality traits. He must really hate them because Jackson still doesn't trust them, even though they're helping me. Felix and Elise put their hands up so that they are only above me. Felix has tears in his eyes when I look at him. The last time he cast a spell he didn't want to, I got a huge case of déjà vu and panic spread through me. He whispers, "I'm sorry," then speaks Latin and points his magic at Jackson and the other wolves. "No!" I yell as I try to get in front of Felix. But it's too late now. Just in time, I turn to see a flash of blue energy hit Jackson's chest. There is a hole where his heart used to be. I run over to him just in time to catch his body, but I don't have enough strength to hold it up. I fall with him, and it feels like I'm going to die. I have a pain in my chest that won't go away, and I can't find the words to explain how bad it is. I did this. I had faith in Felix. I had faith in Elise. They were here because of me. I was Jackson's only weak point, and now he's dead because of me. Why? I keep saying over and over. No one tries to stop me from crying. Kala, it's fine. I can't answer because I don't have the voice, but if I did, I would. This situation is not okay at all. My boyfriend, my soulmate, my love is dead. I can't do anything when she's like this. Do something. She's dying. Don't you think I would if I could? I don't understand what the words mean. I don't even care who is talking. All I can think about is Jackson's dead eyes, pale skin, and voice that will never make those dumb growls again. I'm so sorry, Jackson. I can't even breathe right now. I can't breathe because my throat is closing up. As the water soaks me, I start to cough. I gasp for air that I really need. I see 10 people looking at me when I look around. I see 5 people with wide, relieved eyes that I know are pack warriors. Elise is to my left and doesn't care, and Felix is scared. No one is attacking them. Why? Didn't they kill? Jackson's bright eyes look into mine right in front of me. I let out a sigh of relief and gave him a hug. I must have dozed off again. Dreams that are dumb. I'm sick of thinking about him being dead. It would kill me if he died. It almost killed me, and it wasn't even real. Jackson hugged me tightly and crushed me against his chest. He kisses my shoulder with soft kisses that go all the way around. The kisses go up my neck and along my jaw until he finally kisses my lips quickly. He looks me over and puts his hands around the back of my neck. "You are shaking," he says, shaking his head in disapproval. "I'm sorry. I'm just cold." "Sorry," Skyla says with a smile as he tries to hide the empty bucket behind him. Ezra doesn't help him hide it, which makes me smile. "Hey, it's not my fault. Nobody could wake you up, so I thought throwing water on you would do the trick. And it worked. Go me." Ezra gave Skyla a light smack on the back of the head and then hugged him. These werewolves are very hot and cold. I'm glad Skyla is awake now. It's good to know that he's okay. I wrap a fuzzy blanket around myself and close my eyes right away. It's really warm. No. Don't close your eyes again. No matter how hard I tried to keep you up, you fell asleep. Jackson rubs my arms up and down to warm me up, but he must not know how soothing it is because it just makes me want to sleep even more. I croak, "How long was I out?" It seems like my voice is broken. 20 minutes. We tried everything to wake you up, but you just kept screaming and crying. I couldn't. Jackson's voice cracks, and his real feelings come through. I can't even begin to picture what that must have been like for him. I'm sorry, I say, but Jackson shakes his head. Don't say you're sorry. It's that's fault, he says, pointing to Felix, who looks very upset. His face shows that he feels guilty. Kala, I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was this bad. Just do the spell and get out of my sight. Jackson cuts Felix off quickly. Felix seems like he wants to say more to me, but he just nods his head and comes over to me quickly to break the sleeping spell. Kala, I just want you to know how sorry I am, Felix says, his deep brown eyes full of tears. His apology gives me a strong sense of déjà vu, and I start to back away from him. If he were to betray me, he would say this. It just happened in my sleep. Was it a sign of things to come? I don't have time to step back before Felix says the spell in Latin. Ex salvo somnia insomnis. My first thought when I wake up is that someone put cotton in my mouth. Hold on. Is there cotton in my mouth? I put my fingers to my lips and sigh in relief when I realize that I'm fine. I wake up and see that I'm in Jackson's bed. It takes me a few moments to remember why I'm here, and then all the memories come rushing back. Felix must have taken away the sleeping spell because I didn't have any dreams. Thank God. I was afraid that Felix would betray me, but he kept his word and saved my life. I hadn't forgotten that he was the one who put it in danger in the first place, but he did seem sorry as he tried to make things right. I still have a lot to say to him and Elise, but right now I just want some water. And coffee, too. And food. Fine, I want a whole buffet. Sue me. I sit up and feel a little pain in my left arm. I see that there is an 4 in place, so I slowly start to pull off the tape. I feel bad as I pull the small tube out of my arm. I can't go downstairs and get food while carrying an 4 pole. When I think about food, I quickly get up and head for the door, but my legs feel like noodles. I fall to the ground like a sack of potatoes and groan at how dumb I am. How long have I been sleeping? The door flies open, and right away I feel the warmth and sparks that mean my partner is touching me. Baby! Are you okay? I leave for 1 minute and you fall. Jackson easily lifts me up and looks at me with worry. I laugh and hug him. I close my eyes and relax in his arms, wrapping my arms around his body. I feel so alive and full of energy. My body and mind have been through a lot in the last week, but I'm just glad I'm still alive and can hug Jackson. If I had to have another dream where Jackson died, I think I would go crazy. Why did you take out the 4? You could have hurt yourself even more. The doctor should check you out first before you start walking around, and it's kind of cute that he's worried, but he needs to stop bugging me. I put my pointer finger over his lips to stop him from talking, and I smile at how shocked he looks. I guess the alpha isn't used to being quiet. Jackson, I'm fine. I'm a little stiff, but I'm perfectly healthy. How long was I asleep anyway? I ask him, expecting him to say between 12 and 15 hours. 2.5 days, he says with a grunt as he pulls me closer to him. I'm in shock. I slept for 2.5 days in a row. I had no idea that could happen. What? How did I sleep for that long? I say as I pull away from him. I start to walk around the room impatiently. I guess that's why I hadn't for. I needed food for the days I slept and didn't eat. I must have missed some school. That's not good. I hope I don't fall behind. My mom wouldn't like that I missed school, but wait. Oh my god. My mom has no idea where I am. She probably thinks I'm dead in a ditch or that a homeless man kidnapped me or something. I start to pace again and pull at my hair. What should I say to her? I can't say I was with Jackson for 2 days because that would make me look bad. I would have texted or called her during that time so she'd think something was up. Oh my god. She's probably going crazy, and when I hear a laugh that makes me laugh, I stop pacing. I turn to Jackson and glare at him with my arms crossed over my chest and my nostrils flaring in anger. I complain, "What? What's so funny?" and start tapping my foot on the ground. Jackson walks up to me and grabs my waist, pulling me toward him until there isn't any space between us. He says, "You're cute when you're angry," and I let out a breath when he says my anger is funny. I texted your mom from your phone. She thinks you've been staying with Skyla. I'm glad she knows I'm okay. I let out a big sigh of relief. Also, he says slowly, "I've never heard you curse before. It's kind of hot." I can't breathe when I look into his silver eyes. The longer he looks at me, the bigger his pupils get. His grip on my hips gets a little bit tighter. He seems scared to hold me too tightly, but he can't let me go. I can only guess how he feels right now. He is a man who has found his true love. He probably wants to go faster than I'm ready for, but he's been so patient and understanding with me. His desire is fighting with his common sense. I just woke up after sleeping for 2.5 days because a warlock's spell was meant to kill me. When I stand on my tiptoes and bring my lips close to his, I make the decision for him. I am not glass, I am human. You won't break me. The words come out in a low, seductive voice that I didn't even know I had. My lips brush against his as I whisper the words. He gets angry and slams his lips against mine. The kiss is hot and full of passion, and it's just what I need right now. I forget that I'm hungry for food and instead feel a deep hunger for something else. He doesn't keep his hands on my hips, instead, he moves them to my back. I don't care about the risks and let my body do the talking. His groans only make me feel more sure of myself, so I decide to go even further. I put my hands on the bottom of his 8-pack and lightly scratch his chest with my nails while we kiss. I finally get my hands on his shoulders, and then I wrap my hands around his neck to pull him even closer to me. I don't even know how we got to the other side of the room, but now I'm straddling Jackson while he sits on his bed. We've never gone this far before, but I can't tell him to stop because I don't want him to. He pulls my body closer to him, and his hands stay on me, so there isn't an inch of space left. I can feel all of him because there's no space. His member is hard against me, and I pull away from the kiss because I'm not very good at kissing. I don't know what I should do. I like this, but Jackson has been doing it for a lot longer than I have. What if he doesn't like what we're doing? What if he wants to have X right now? I don't think I'm ready for that yet, but I'm having a great time with what we're doing now. Jackson uses his thumb to pull my bottom lip out of my teeth. I didn't even know I was biting my lip. I guess it's a nervous habit. What's wrong, baby? Talk to me. I'm confused by how worried and kind he is. How did I get so lucky? I just shake my head and look down at the ground. I can't believe I'm ruining the moment by being shy and insecure. Ugh, I'm so dumb. Kala, look at me. His voice is soft but firm. He is holding my cheek in his hand, and I look up at him. Are you okay? We can stop at any time. I thought you wanted I do. I say a little louder than I meant to. He laughs and kisses me quickly on the lips. What happened? Did I do something wrong? I can't believe he's asking me if he did something wrong. I don't think he could do anything wrong in that area even if he wanted to. He's a real god, and I'm just a normal girl. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, you did the opposite. I just don't. I've never. And you, I can't even get a clear thought across. I'm so upset, especially since nothing has changed for us. I can still feel him hard underneath me, and it's making me feel weird. Listen to me. I know you're new to this. I don't care. In fact, I like it that way. I want to be your first love, your first experience, and your last. You're it for me, baby. I don't know how he did it, but he said the right thing. He was able to calm my worst fears about our relationship in just a few seconds. He doesn't care that I get nervous easily or that I don't know what to do yet. He wants to be with me for the rest of his life. The thought makes my heart race and my cheeks flush. I put my hands behind his neck right away and bring his lips back to mine. I'm so happy right now, and all I can think about is Jackson. The kiss starts off slow, but it quickly speeds up again, and we're basically back to where we were before I freaked out. His hands on my back pull me into his hardness, and I can't help but moan loudly. He growls deep in his throat and moves his hips to meet mine. The friction feels great. My body is tingling, and I can't help but feel something building in my stomach. I can't even imagine what X must feel like if we're still fully clothed and it feels like this. I'm starting to get what everyone has been saying. As he goes faster, my breathing gets shallower. As time goes on, my kisses get a little sloppy, and I feel like I'm floating. This is the first time I've ever felt this way. Jackson, I moan with my mouth wide open. As I focus on the growing tension in my stomach, my eyes close on their own. Please. Please, what? He's just messing with me, but I don't care. I need him to fix this pain in my legs. Please, I whine again. He stops grinding his hips against mine all of a sudden. I open my eyes and give him a confused look. Why did he stop? Say what you want, and I'll be happy to help you, he says with a smirk on his face. I bite my lip because I'm not sure if I can just ask him for what I need. I can still see the caring Jackson who won't push me too far, even though he has a smirk on his face. He puts his forehead on mine because I must be taking too long to answer. He whispers, "Do you trust me?" "Yes," I say right away. "Okay. Then tell me what you want. I promise you won't regret it." I'm still a little scared, but I'm more at ease now that he said that. "I want you to make me come," I say quietly. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever said, and it only makes me want him more. He says, "Your wish is my command," and then he kisses me again. He turns us over so that my back is on the bed and he is above me. His elbows take most of his weight, so he's not laying directly on me, but his body is still completely touching mine. And the waves of pleasure keep coming. I let out a breathy sigh. I must have passed out for about 30 seconds, and when I woke up, Jackson had a look on his face. I can't even blame him, he knows his fingers are magical. I turned to him with a lazy smile. I have trouble finding the right words to describe how that made me feel. He laughs and pulls me to his side. Speechless? Just wait until I really touch you. You have no idea what my mouth can do. I put my head on his chest. He sees everything. We stayed in bed for another minute or so before my stomach rudely interrupted us by growling louder than Jackson's. "Okay, let's change you and then get you some food." I nod my head and kiss Jackson slowly. The kiss lasts a little longer than I meant it to. As he groans, Jackson is the one who pulls back. "Don't start something you can't finish." He shakes his head and smirks as he looks down at his you-know-what, and my eyebrows go up. How could I have been so selfish? Shouldn't I help him since he helped me? Does he want that? Do you want me to? I don't even have time to finish the sentence before Jackson shakes his head. "No, love. Today was about giving you pleasure. I really enjoyed watching you." He gets out of bed and goes to his drawer to get a pair of clean boxers and sweatpants. He gives them to me and tells me to go to the bathroom to change out of the clothes I was wearing before. Who would have thought things would get so bad? When I'm done cleaning up, I open the bathroom door and Jackson is right there. At this point, I shouldn't be surprised by how clingy he is. I'm sure now that Jackson won't give me much space because we took things a step further and I almost died. That's fine with me. Not at all. He looks down at me with love and admiration. He picks me up and carries me like a bride. I don't even try to get out, I just cuddle deeper into his strong body and let him take me to the kitchen. He puts me on one of the kitchen stools and starts looking through the fridge. "Do you want something in particular? I could eat a cow right now." That's gross. But at this point, I would be happy to eat anything. "Jackson, I'm really hungry. Can you make something fast?" He nods, takes cheese out of the fridge, and starts to put a pan on the stove. He also finds a loaf of bread and cuts 8 slices from it. 5 minutes later, Jackson brings a stack of 4 grilled cheese sandwiches. I grab one and put it right in my mouth. "Oh my God, this is so good," I say as I taste the melted cheese and the bread that is perfectly warm around it. "Kala!" Jackson growls to warn her. It's not scary, but I still don't understand why he's doing it. "What?" I say with a mouth full of food. He doesn't respond to me. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.